hadn't been able to eat human flesh for a long time. The villagers were trembling. The monsters. 1. Don't be afraid. Young men who volunteered to stand at the head of the group. He is very knowledgeable about these monsters and said in a loud voice that this is a mountain monster with an extremely cruel personality that likes to hunt and kill humans but has limited attack power. A small demon holding a spear and rushing forward to scoop up 3. That young man without wasting any effort. He could easily kick it far away, making the fat boss's group extremely satisfied. He was invited by Lao Tzu's high-priced bodyguard to clean up these little demons like chopping fruits and vegetables. But demons are not just. There was one child and another child jumped up. The young bodyguard smirked. He still threw a kick. But this time it was different. The devil's crescent had a pinch of ketchup. The young bodyguard winced in pain. It's broken. It's so bad. The villagers turned off the sun immediately. The young bodyguard hugged his broken leg, looking down on the enemy to smell the enemy. The demon was lying on the ground, laughing happily. At this moment, he realized that he was not an opponent. This little monster, although weak but extremely ferocious, was my enemy. Don't give him another chance. The villagers don't even have the slightest resistance. No, it's not us. There is no more chance. Because another army of demons has surrounded the mountain. Everyone holding weapons. The aura radiating is very oppressive. The number is also completely overwhelming. They laugh savagely. Then without hesitation, if you rush forward like this, you will break the village and the villagers can only stand still and cannot run anymore. A massacre of humanity will take place. Screams and cries will be heard everywhere. At the same time, the atmosphere in Tu Duong was hotter than ever. The old villagers began to feel impatient that the magic array master could not directly use the primordial mineral as a defensive talisman. That young man must have said. Lai ran away. The old man was still standing looking at the door with sad eyes. He was a guest and had the right to go. I hope I can last through the night and tomorrow my old friend Master Bei will come. Right now the sound of murder is coming. Women and children are afraid to pee their pants. What is this terrible sound? That group of demons came to the door. They laughed so outrageously that they jumped like frogs to their mouths and kept making creepy sounds. A group of demons targeting weak women. But Ro Chung is not the type of woman. She coldly said, you guys are too slow. The demons gritted their teeth and screamed. Then continuously swung the axe and hammer. Ro Chung nimbly dodged. Nam Guan was also very quick to use the swing to attack. The swing looking small but having martial arts. Fighting a demon hurts so much that it hurts my eyes. 2 demons are given special care by 2 women. They are so painful they can even vomit ketchup. Dying for a girl is a numbing death. Rochong's sharp eyes cold as a knife. She obeyed the command signal. Don't think that wearing a maid outfit is harmless. Ro Chung cut the ghosts into 2 pieces. The ghosts had not even had time to call their mother before they completely disappeared. A pair of jade swords made Ro Chung too cannot exclaim. The combination is not bad. Nam Guan was also surprised and excitedly said that Rochong's master's fighting spirit made us much stronger in an instant. Before he could finish his sentence, a huge beast appeared, wanting to be much more trouble than imagined. 2 fearless women rushed forward wanting to fight in close combat. Hopeless screams tore through the sky. The corpses of the demon children were lying all over the ground. Rochong's spear didn't know what to do to pierce the demons. Another demon brat sacrificed at the hands of the murderous Ro Chung. Looking at the situation in front of him, he realized that killing is not the way to go. The enemy's numbers are too overwhelming. Enough to crush people with meat. They are much more numerous than we imagined. Nam Guan. This is when he remembered the old father at home. This kind of rank and number. Old village chief. They are dangerous. We have to go back quickly, but that's not what we want. Ro Chung is nervous. We can't go. Look ahead. This time it's the father of those little devils and he has super huge pillar legs. Long sharp fangs and drool flowing like a stream. Namguan's Ro Chung couldn't hide his insecurity from a big guy. He saw his comrades being massacred and immediately screamed crazy. Then threw his fist and punched him hard. Luckily dodging the maid, Ro Chung saved himself a visible loss. Ro Chung did not expect that this guy's strength was completely different from the demon children. He turned to attack Nam Guan. Nam Guan had a magical swing that she used all her strength to defend and trembled, trembling and saying it's okay. At this moment Ro Chung suddenly had an idea and she stood up. I used spear magic to deal with him, thinking it would make Ro Chung rush forward. Wanted to use spear magic to penetrate and finish off the devil. But life is not like a dream. The devil waved his hand and knocked Ro Chung down on his head. She was lucky to stay on the ground, while not paying attention to the devil's steel punch preparing to sneak attack. This punch collided with the mom, is definitely digging the dirt to find her teeth. Nam Guan once again cooperated well to use the shield to protect the two sisters. Even though they were facing the devil's father, they were still very tough and we had to fend them off. But there was seemingly unable to lose, being pushed back step by step by the devil's father's punch. Here I can fight a little bit. Try to hold on until big brother Yopi Yang appears. Nam Guan is only worried about the lonely old people in the village? Yes, he is a fighting machine. I hope that the old village chief's side is okay. The village chief's side, he is suspicious and thinks it's strange. Why haven't these monsters come yet? Some villagers in the distance clasped their hands together to thank heaven and earth. The old ancestor had an epiphany. The creepy beak had just finished speaking. A group of baby demons rushed towards them. They were coming. Looking at his scary face with drool flowing down, the village chief had no time to put on diapers. They surrounded him from the street. This trip seems to be at a loss for soldiers. The old village chief held the axe and trembled on the verge of fainting. Finally decided to rush forward to block the road and close the door to protect the young people. What an exemplary village chief. The villagers were heartbroken. Calling the village chief, he replied that you guys should hide well and don't act rashly. He resolutely looked at the demons in front of him. One difficulty followed another. A big demon suddenly appeared like a god. The village chief did not expect this big guy to come so quickly like that. He seems very confident and blatantly plundering the old man where this village's treasures are kept. He goes straight to the main purpose completely without respect for the elderly. The old man said, I know where that thing is hidden. It's not like we can let people who become slaves continue to live. Losing that treasure is like losing the village. The village chief shouted that what you are looking for is not here. I'm not afraid of you riding over here. The big devil heard this sentence and immediately angrily ordered you to go. You ghosts. I received the order and immediately picked up my spear and wanted to cut it. The older the ginger, the more spicy it gets. The village chief launched a protest move. Don't underestimate me. The old man gave a punch that made the little devil wave his face back. The village chief is old and old, but there is a price for what he teaches. Let the devil know what a festival is. When the devil sees that, he smiles as if he had a good season. Humans like to struggle in vain. That punch just made the old man gasp. Just keep the hammer in my hand and I will tell you, protect the village to protect the human world. The devil looked at the cheap and tattered weapon with contempt and smiled, just leaning on that hammer. As soon as he finished speaking, 500 demon brothers rushed forward wanting to send the old man back to his motherland. Old, he was so old that he could easily have the hammer taken away by the demon child. He proudly looked at the result before his eyes. Even the skin of a small thing could not cut through the human weapon. It was so weak. But at that moment, hey, the old village chief has disappeared without leaving a trace. Ghost Dad was startled. Could it be that he had seen a ghost? There was a movement behind him that made him replay it. None other than Big Brother Yopi Yang is back and powerful more than before. It's too embarrassing to be late. The crystal stone will be finished and you can immediately change it up. The village chief did not expect this young man to actually come back. He stammered speechlessly. Yopi Yang continued, now. It's time to your father showed that he pointed at the village chief's hammer and immediately turned it around a few times. Then firmly settled in his hand. Yopi Yang appeared like a god and the hammer also became domineering so they could taste it first. The true destructive power of this hammer. The devil thinks Yopi Yang is telling a joke. The destructive power of the lucky person who secretly attacks the weakest soldiers wins this broken hammer. For me, it basically just stands there talking forever. Didn't realize his stork was about to be cut off. The hammer blade had no eyes. The hammer blade swung at lightning speed. Then slashed down with a slash to split the bed, causing the devil to cut it in half. Only had time to say the last sentence. Know the effect. This hammer dance makes all creatures afraid to fly away. The tiger didn't roar and thought it was Hello Kitty. Why did all the demons go up to the weapons? Humans were already hungry and thirsty. A debut that touches people's hearts. The demon children couldn't stand the attack, so they rushed forward and wanted to play to the limit. Yopi Yang did not hesitate to increase the interaction with these children. Yopi Yang slashed them to change their lives immediately. The village chief has lived more than 70 pots of Bon Chung and has never seen it before. Whoever is so defiant to the sky. This old ancestor must be the savior who was praying in heaven. The two chefs hiding inside couldn't hold their mouths shut with a hammer. Killing so many of them. But there were still a few left. People doubt life, but monsters are getting more and more. Just him alone. The chef can only hope for Yopi Yang uncle fighting. Yopi Yang slashing the devil. I don't know how many of you can handle it all. The eyes cover because of the murderous aura. Scared the little devils into screaming and chattering their teeth. On Rochung and Namguan's side, the situation is very serious. Whether the two sisters come back or not, their opponents are about to be unbearable. The big monster reached out his hand to squeeze some places that shouldn't be squeezed. Right now the squeaking sound from a distance. A safe moved in. A group of baby demons rushed back like a swarm of bees from a broken nest. The big demon didn't understand what was going on. Could it be that he had returned completely victorious? He returned to the big story. Throwing punches and saying goodbye now. You guys are on your way. The rescue is over. Now the two sisters can only close their eyes and accept death. The blow landed on the ground and it shattered. Smoke was flying. Rocks were everywhere. The punch, with a weight of 2,000 kilograms, thought that the two beauties were really unlucky. Thought that his feet were cold, but Nam Guan was still safe and watched. Yopi Yang appeared like a movie actor, used one finger to block an XXL punch. Then raised his hand and flicked it. The snap was like electricity. And he was stunned. The electric current spread throughout his rippling muscles. The devil's arm seemed to be disabled. It screamed in pain. It must have been painful to the heavens. Yopi Yang took the opportunity to rush to fight in armor. He used a hammer to cut a familiar cut in half. Both disabled and disabled. Who can he blame now? He can only blame himself for bumping into the wrong person. The demon was knocked to the ground by Yopi Yang. Nam Guan emerged from the shield and shouted, "Master!" Ro Chung ran to his side and didn't forget to praise him too much. When he came to Yopi Yang, Ro Chung put on a sad look. "Master, we are too weak to help." Yopi Yang turned his head to look at them and replied that the children had grown up very quickly. "If we fight many more times, we will be stronger." Suddenly, from afar, there was a big explosion going off. "Giant demon, bad person, ugly person," cried out. "Finally met the hunt that can make me excited." Nam Guan also saw that the demon was trembling and said that Qian Make Ga in the legend is a beloved armor that doesn't have any human weapons that can break the room. Ro Chung now loudly begged Yopi Yang to help him. "I want to fight again, please master, to help me recover." Yopi Yang turned back to look at her and asked again, "If you want to force recovery holding your injured arm?" Ro Chung determined to ask master to complete. "I want to challenge the strong enemy." "Hear that you? I didn't ask any more. Just cast a spell with my hand." A ray of light with healing effect ran into Ro Chung's body. Very quickly she was able to firmly hold her weapon and then rushed forward. The speed became faster. As she approached the demon, Ro Chung used a series of slaps on the ear of the divine palm. Nam Guan watched from afar and immediately commented without any hesitation. At the same time the demon spread out his arms. Ro Chung also jumped high. Suddenly Ro Chung was thrown far away by the flow of power. She looked back at the demon and wondered if he had disappeared. At this time the demon had not yet lowered his knife and let his opponent know where he was hiding. Very quickly he delivered a real blow. Ro Chung looked at this situation and Nam Guan shouted worriedly at his sister. Ro Chung was quick to land safely but also in pain. The demon accumulated energy to prepare for the next move. "Just released one blow from him," I arrogantly said goodbye. Then his whole body rushed down to Ro Chung at high speed. Nam Guandong saw it and cried and shouted to remind him to run quickly. Ro Chung heard the noise and quickly turned around to watch. When she turned around, the demon was already approaching her. But suddenly he had a bad mentality and immediately held her back. Yopi Yong rushed forward and struck down a blow. His other slash immediately slashed to the middle of the demon's body. The demon was cut in half. Then exploded. Ro Chung behind Yopi Yong called for Master. Looking in the air, there were only scattered dust particles. Nam Guan, do you think Master's hammer is a divine weapon? A few demons hiding above, looking at the situation just now, commented that this human race is a bit dangerous. Okay? Two tall demons with unknown strength laughed and shouted for me to blow him up. Rochong's place is only now alone. She sat alone. The demon saw that he had disappeared and was startled to ask where that boy was. Yopi Yong appeared at a very fast speed behind the other person and replied, here. Then with the hammer in his hand he swung once, slashed the demon's head across. Very quickly the Oman demon's head was separated from its body. The other demons, including the old man in the village, were also surprised. Nam Guan gasped in confusion and corrected his previous statement with a hammer in his mouth. The master's hand is not a sacred weapon. Ro Chung is now holding his arm and looking at him. Then concluded, the master himself is more terrifying than the spirit. People in the ceremony hall ran to see the excitement and hid in a far corner. Commented that little brother is indeed an angel who has come down to earth. We have been saved. After the situation got better, Nam Guan breathed a sigh of relief when it ended. Luckily there was a master. But suddenly at this moment the ground shook violently. A giant demon walked towards everyone. They all came and then exclaimed together, how ridiculous, you weak people, how can this small child want to protest against us? Seeing them, everyone present except Yopi Yong were surprised and scared. Now everyone is surrounded from side. Noticing the bad situation, Nam Guan Dong stammering, what's going on? Ro Chung held his injured arm in surprise and asked again if the situation was wrong. A small village cannot be the target of a large army of demons. What is in this village? The old village elder of the village? Scared, trembling and screaming. The little villager watching the story in the distance, crying and screaming, what to do, we will be eaten away. Yopi Yong was the only one calmly calling the fish a bit many. Raised his arms high to summon his pet, he said to let Sosam get some air. As soon as Yopi Yong finished speaking, a large stream of light emitted the three-headed dragon element. As he shouted the two words million, when a three-headed giant dragon appeared. The image of the dragon's incarnation made everyone and the demons scream together. The giant three-headed dragon appeared behind Yopi Yong. The demons saw it. The demons gasped in surprise. Yopi Yong looked below and coldly shouted to clear the field. The giant dragon listened to the command and three mouths spewed molten fire. The fire quickly spread and surrounded the demons, and they were burned fiercely, roared in pain. The giant dragon actively breathed fire and the demons actively fled, but where could they run to escape? They were all burned one after another. The giant dragon's fire even formed a bright circle. The fire continued continuously, being sprayed non-stop. Flying high above, Yopi Yong crossed his arms and praised as expected of Sosam. The villagers hiding behind the cliff stared wide-eyed. Nam Guan was stunned by this situation. Yopi Yong was still very calmly crossed his arms and commented that it seemed a bit too much. The demons that fly in the air continuously cry out. The ferocious ghost bird spreads its wings and flies towards. The target of the ghost birds is a fire-breathing giant dragon. The village child looked at the ghost bird and blurted out that it was a giant demon. One of them was enough to destroy a village. The village chief was scared when he saw the demon giant appear. The giant demon is now opening its mouth to accumulate energy. Once it has enough, it releases a huge stream of power. A giant dragon's head quickly detects an attack, but immediately. Then the giant demon's move had landed. From afar, observing Nam Guan and shouting loudly at Sosam, then she stared intently at the place where the fight was taking place. In front of the place where the fight was being fought, white smoke flew blindly. Very quickly the giant dragon roared and stood there peacefully. Then all three heads screamed out a large stream of energy. But the giant dragon's move was quickly dodged. The giant dragon flew to the side and stared that explosion. The giant dragon at this moment flew up behind the giant demon. Then it stretched out its claws as if teasingly patting the giant demon's shoulder. Very quickly the giant demon was knocked down and screamed loudly. Its end was the same as other demons buried in a sea of fire. The fire created by the giant dragon grew bigger and bigger, then the giant dragon also stretched out its huge wings. It stood in front of the work it created and roared loudly big. Yopi Yang calmly stood there watching. Everyone looked bewildered. The village elder called out to Dragon God, "Sir." Then he bowed down and loudly said, thank you for saving Dragon's life, Lord." Yopi Yang heard the sound and turned around to look puzzled. Then he gave a thumbs up and smiled softly, thinking to himself, "You guys don't regret this plane being burned by me. It's okay." Look away, could clearly see that the whole land was bare. Very quickly the time had come, the morning of the next day. The small silhouettes of 3 people walking on the road. It turned out to be 3 people. Yopi Yang Nam Guan raised his voice, wondering if he knew him. Are their village chiefs still in danger? Ro Chung turned around at this time and firmly replied that the demon army is large in scale. Appearing in the protective defense line of mankind must have been prepared for a long time. This type of high-level threat will not appear again. Nam Guan heard this and nodded to show that he understood. Yopi Yang took the lead and raised a finger pointing to the sky and said, "Rest assured. The person named Phi Dane has arrived in the village." Then, he turned his head and smiled happily, then told me to feel his aura is very strong. Let's go target Yom Seong. 2 female disciples listened and responded in unison with a yes. A figure appeared in a cloud of smoke and dust. The white-haired old man observed the situation, questioning a young man who had guarded the village. The old man was the 4 great golden sects. Bei Bom silently praised what such a powerful young man was. In the sky a demon was hovering and flying towards a mountain. The winged demon respectfully knelt down and reported that the 2 messengers of the demon army in charge of attacking Wang God Chan took back that item last night. They all died in the sea of fire. The blue-haired and yellow-haired demon suddenly glanced over to listen. Even the 3-eyed demon commander of the army was burned to death. But heard a ridiculous story. The blonde-haired demon mockingly joked, "What's up? The great secret of our clan hidden in Wang God Chan is for the ancestral spirit to swallow." The clue that thousands of high-level monsters had this time suddenly attacked the defenseless human world. The blue-haired demon also exclaimed in disbelief as the 3-eyed demon gathered all the demons. The ambush in this area combined to create a great military attack against a small village. But it could still fail. It's unbelievable. The winged demon had the audacity to speak his mind, and his subordinates had the audacity to speculate that perhaps it was the work of a group of humans. The superpower passed by and made the blonde-haired demon's hand crackle. He itched endlessly. The superpower of humanity. I went to ask them to teach the blue-hair demon. On the contrary, calmly reminded them, "Don't talk too much. We have to go to Yom Seong because something big has happened." At the same time, welcoming the awakened owner, the winged demon said the last information to say goodbye to the sword-headed Bei Bom. The capital Wang God Chan was established and no demonic forces dared to come close. "If there's nothing, my subordinates will leave first. The blue-haired demon doesn't look like a good person and wants to settle accounts. You brought bad news to ruin my good mood and must be punished." The winged demon was startled and frightened when he heard that. Quickly retreat and preserve your life. Sir, spare your life." The blonde demon released a fireball and commanded to go. The fireball landed in the exact right place, making the demon unable to avoid it. He could only scream. A loud explosion mixed in the air, neatly solving the trouble. The blonde-haired demon said that the 3-eyed demon is really trash. If the master let the 2 of us take action secretly, he would have taken it back early. Let's go to Yom Seong. The blue-haired demon returning to this state of happily accepting Yom Seong, where the 8 directions converge, will definitely be fun. The blue sky and light shined down on a citadel that was in Yom Seong. Yopi Yang was walking but kept complaining that it wasn't easy. It took more than 2 days to arrive. Nam Guan looked around the village and talked about the people in the city. This place is too small and quite quiet. Ro Chung is quite knowledgeable about this colony and explains that this place is located near the storm plain and is extremely dangerous. Monsters appear in large numbers, so there will be relatively few humans. Hearing that, Yopi Yang was surprised, asked her to come to this city. Ro Chung turned to look at Yopi Yang and confirmed the information that he followed the Lu Duang army here and stationed the capital here. The reason for being in this city is unknown. Ro Chung interrogated our master because he came here to find someone. Why? Yopi Yang like there is no saying the purpose of not looking for anyone. Let's go to the original demon arena. Nam Guan was startled with Ro Chung's question. The original demon arena is the place for humans and all kinds of love but fiercely fought. Yopiang's face turned black and he smiled cunningly and replied correctly, that is the place I used to train super terrorists. Hearing this, Nam Guan's eyes widened in fear. Saw the expression feeling scared of a disciple. Yopi Yang laughed loudly, so Sam was indeed scared. After a while of teasing he finally started his journey. Let's go see a little. Big birds flying high in the sky. Yopi Yang led 2 disciples into a large citadel. Observed the citadel from afar. Yopi Yang announced his arrival. Looked at the fighting hall in Namguan's citadel and commented that the demon arena was too bustling and familiar with the terrain of this place, introducing that there are many monks who will come to participate in the match to earn money. There are also some forces that bet on the win or loss of the match. Yopi Yang opens and quotes more about the rule that each match can determine the win or loss. So you can earn money. Suddenly there was a loud shout from afar. Give way! Give way! Give way! All 3 people stared wide-eyed at the commotion. Passers-by looked at the line of luxurious carts and discussed that this seemed to be the fleet of vehicles of the half-demon people in the arena from the right to the left. Whispering to each other, the half-demon is an extremely dangerous profession. They are a superpower. Famous fake on the demon killing board. A devil sitting in a car holding a demon smiled complacently at the excitement. Gananhangweisen and Akma in the sleeping demon beheaded demon. Why did they all come to Yongseong? Ro Chung remembered the identity of Gananhangweisen, conveying information that the reputation of the sleeping demon beheaded demon was huge. According to rumors, Gananhangweisen for money regardless of tricks. Gender unknown devil when hungry will eat demons as food. This person is extremely dangerous. Akma is munching on food deliciously. Yopi Yang looks unconcerned. Mind reminds me. No matter what the devil. Look over there. We're here. Many people who signed up to participate are waiting outside the stands. He excitedly looks at the goal in front of him, reminding us that we have to participate in the demon competition. Hong Nam Guan asked with some disbelief that his master was also participating. Ro Chung talked about the welfare of a person participating in the competition. 300.000 gold coins per person and participating in the competition, including food and accommodation. He did not speak and replied, closing his eyes and feeling the breeze blowing through the fresh air, but in her heart Yopi Yang is worried about leaving Mu Jongguk for a while. And then loudly, is the little fox in the cardboard a good boy? The magnificent citadel covered with light warm sunshine in the east of the world Man Rim Ji Gook. This world of demons and mortals. This place is the only country that allows female foxes to exist. Man Rim Ji Gook. This is a place where it is very easy to find foxy foxes who once saved the country's king He. They were determined not to be demons but holy beasts. The young man saw the lewd fox and pointed at it. It was so cute. The guy next to it was also not nice. Eager to discuss according to the old rules. Caught it and knocked it out, then led away. Suddenly the little fox in front became vague and unclear. Quickly in the little fox's hand was a rock with the intention of attacking and counter-attacking starting. Just like that the little fox alone weighed 2 and rushed in attack. 2 young men with scarred shapes. Please forgive me, don't kill me. Little fox doesn't pay attention. Aim at my money bag. I want money, don't want my life. Little fox with this passion for money is the 4 great beings. Little fox Dongwo's bodyguard. It seems that the people here are quite familiar with her, expressing her frustration that this female thief is out to rob passers-by. Shouldn't female foxes be seducing men? Why did the people next to them quickly signal to remind them to keep their voices down? Don't be heard by her. Suddenly a red light flashed in the sky. It was Baek Bai. After a long time she had returned. Dong Wo suddenly reacted quickly, calling after the master. The master is back. Without hesitation Wake Dong Wo quickly jumped up to chase people away. Dong Wo immediately went to meet people. At the dumpling shop a little green-haired demon asked, Uncle, I don't have money, can I use firewood to exchange dumplings? The shop owner found the fox cute. Acceptance of course means getting 1 for 1 or 2 for the cute kid. Blue-haired little fox. Happy and smiling. This is the 4 great bodyguards. Uncle Chun Peng is really good. Chun Peng, come quickly. Go quickly. Leave an appointment and wait for me. I'll be right back. Later Chun Peng returns with 100 bundles of firewood on his back. The people in the shop and the owner of the dumpling shop are stunned. There's a giant beast entering the city. Then what? Chun Peng is small but extremely powerful and is approaching. She happily flashed a bright smile and called uncle. At the same time Chun Peng generously threw down a bunch of firewood for you. The scattered bundle of firewood on the floor. The little fox exchanged 3.000 pounds for 300 pieces. The dumpling shop owner looked stiff and sweating profusely. He hadn't let the shop owner fix it yet. Chun Peng just took all the dumplings and left. I'll take it all away. The rest will come tomorrow and bring another 5,000 kilos of firewood. The shop owner collapsed against the wall crying in pain and still wanted to come. Holding dumplings in hand happily returning, she suddenly saw the silhouette of Beck Bai. The little girl in surprise. He threw the whole bag of dumplings on the ground. The little fox's face looked up to the sky calling for the master. Chun Peng was extremely excited and shouted in the middle of the street, the master has returned. In the rest area there was a feminine voice speaking, Mr. Li. I really can't drink anymore. Please let me go. The man's cheerful voice rang out, teasing the little goblin. The girl's bewitching voice continued to change direction. General Zhang, next time, reward the flower. I definitely went last time I was really unwell. The fox with a beautiful enchanting face. This is the 4 great guards. Chuzal Zhang General enjoyed watching Chuzal hanging on his body, flattering me well. Next time if I don't go then I'll be really popular. I'm angry. The man sitting next to me wants a glass of wine. Chuzal. This time you can't run away from my wine anymore. Chuzal knows how to please men. The man asked to summon the prince this time. Of course I won't avoid it. The 2 ladies standing next to him were also moved by Chuzal. Chuzal is certainly the most reasonable beauty. Man Rim Ji Gook, the maid next to him, also happily agreed. Any man can be solved by her. She can't help but admire the vixen's superiority in this aspect. The man's hand extended a glass of wine to invite Chuzal in. Suddenly the glass of wine was in his hand. The fox threw that man straight in the face. Everyone present was stunned by her actions. The maid couldn't believe her eyes and was confused. How could the beautiful Chuzal lose her maid's manners? Green turned to stone on the spot when he touched her, who was always so gentle and charming, but suddenly turned around. Chuzal, the beautiful, heart-touching person who said every word disparaging the prince. If it weren't for your powerful father to back you up, stupid people like you, I didn't even say a word to you. The man ate an entire glass of wine in his face and hasn't regained his composure yet. Caused trouble, but Chuzal quickly turned around and left. Mr. Li. General Zhang showed his cards. I'm the one you'll never wake up again. After causing trouble, Chuzal quickly jumped up the wall and ran away. Chuzal was extremely satisfied with your series of actions. Chuzal, I'm a fox with no feelings, so I can play any role you like. My master has returned. I don't need to continue gathering intelligence. After work, I don't need to pretend anymore. You can figure it out yourself. The 3 men still looking forward to it. Chuzal's silhouette. Not letting the men wait too long, Chuzal said goodbye. At the same time Chun Peng. Chuzal.